What's up, everybody? This is Veronica Lynn Clark, your host for the Liberate Your Orgasm podcast. I am so stoked that you joined me today for this episode. This is called The Sacred Sweetness, and it's a class that I offer during quarantine via Zoom. I know many of you are listening to me from overseas, and it may not be possible for you to join me in a live session anytime soon. So I wanted to give you a little taste of what it might be like to attend a Zoom class with me, and maybe even one-on-one, and hopefully a retreat or a live session one day very soon. So we haven't officially started yet, but I just want to invite you to really start grounding and arriving, because we all know that it takes time before we actually fully arrive. Maybe the physical body is present, and yet the soul, the heart still needs to land. Oftentimes we're looking around the space to see, am I safe enough to land? Is this a safe space for me to be here and to be present? Am I safe? Am I loved? Can I be fully accepted here to show myself? Feeling some softness inside of you, letting your shoulders relax. We don't have to be anything that we're not. The only ask of the soul is that we just show up here. Be tender and compassionate with ourselves as we're learning and releasing layers, releasing programming and conditioning, just learning how to be sweet. Sweet again. Sweetness of the flowers, remind us of that. The sweetness of the hummingbirds and the bees seeking nectar. It's being sweet. Yeah. See where the breath is. Is it being stuck in the chest? Can you take it down into your belly, into your genitals a little bit deeper? Feel how good it is to be in your body. This body that maybe hasn't always been loved by you, and thus maybe hasn't been loved by others because we are a reflection. Just feeling into the love that you have for yourself, though, and breathing more of that into the cells of your body. So just keep breathing and feeling. So just sit for a moment, sitting up nice and tall. I want you to just roll your shoulders a bit, roll your shoulders. Yeah. Feel what that feels like. Loosening up, loosen up. Oof. What we're going to be talking about today is sound, breath, and movement, how that has to do with our sexuality, so that we can really come home to ourselves, to our sexuality. The sacred sweetness of who we are is oftentimes locked up inside of all the body armor that we've been carrying around. Yeah. I want you to drop all the way down into your sex organs, and specifically down into your ass. I want you to just loosen it up a little bit, just relax it. A lot of times we walk around with this like really tight squeeze asshole. We're trying to hold everything in. I'm going to invite you right now, just relax it. Yeah. Relax your ass. That's right. Good. And then let out a little bit of sound like, yeah, how's that feel when you just relax? Yeah, if you feel a little uncomfortable with making a face or sticking out your tongue, just do it anyways. Break through some of those barriers. So, shimmy and shake your shoulders, move. This is how we get to land. We get to see each other and say, okay, I'm safe. I'm safe. I can show up. Yes. And now start to slow down the movement a little bit. You can close your eyes just to drop in. Dropping in. Drop all the way down into your sex organs. And then drop down a little bit further, down into the root. That root, that which roots you, grounds you, connects you to here and to this planet. Some of us have not completely made that decision to arrive fully on this planet. Some part of us might still be somewhere else, floating about in the ethers, wondering why it is that we incarnated as humans. Just noticing that and breathing into it, feeling whatever part of that feels true and dismissing whatever part does not feel true. As you may have already moved through that body. Continue taking a full breath. Make your way up into the second chakra. It's connected to your sexuality, to your money. And just feeling what you feel. Try to relax the organs in the space as much as you can. You can let your belly kind of just pull out a little bit, just relaxing shoulders a little bit more. Softening hips. Letting the hands just soften, letting the jaw soften. Yeah. Drop your chin down just a little bit more. Drop your chin down. So the back of the neck is long. Drop in. You to feel where perhaps your sexuality has been repressed, where there's blocks around it, where you've had to protect your sexuality and thus maybe you have cut yourself off from parts of it, its full expression. And perhaps we've learned different things that are not true about our sexuality. A part of you knows that already, and yet probably doesn't quite understand fully how to release it. Just breathing into it. Not having to know anything at all, not having to have any answers, just breathing. Moving around, that sacred splendor of your body. Starting to make your way back up again into the navel center, the solar plexus. Stay with it. Your mind starts to wander, just come back into your power. Coming back into the navel. Do some more expansive breathing here. Expand the breath into your belly, starting to illuminate that space. It's normal to sometimes see colors, maybe gold, a deep yellow. Just see more illumination. See that you are a body of light, that you are made of star dust. That you are everything that you have ever sought in this life. It's breathing into your power, into your potential. Letting go of whatever mind, whatever things are coming into the mind right now, just coming back fully into your sovereignty, into your queen, into your king. Fully embodying the priestess in this lifetime, the channel, the conduit. When you open up the spaces inside of your body, you open up the potential for the soul to drop right in so you can start to embody all that you are, bringing it into full fruition. And starting to move up into the heart space, just breathing there into the heart. Expanding and breathing. Feel that anahata. Feel how much love that you have in your heart. Feel how much love and connectedness that you actually have to others. Even though sometimes it feels like we're cut off from love, we are not. Love is always, always seeking itself. Love is always seeking itself. All it needs is your permission to enter into you fully, to penetrate you, to penetrate every part of your body, to penetrate you, to open you, to expand you, so that you can expand more fully to yourself and to others, to the cosmos, to everything that you are ever part of and everything that you will never, ever be a part of. Breathe. Breathing into the throat. Just bring some more awareness into your throat. For this piece, I'm going to invite you to make some sound. A lot of times our throat has been constricted. The throat and the womb are made of the same material. Even if you don't have a physical womb anymore, or if you were not born with a physical womb, we all have a womb within us because we have all come from the great mother. We've all come from a mother. We've all come from the womb. Start to take some deep inhale breath, noticing where any of your breath, your words, your sounds are constricted in the throat, and then start to make some sound. Make some sound. If you're feeling resistance to it, I'd like you to drop in even further. Again, relax your asshole and then start to drop in a little bit more into the breath into the sound. Allow your body to make sound. What sound needs to be expressed so that you can be fully present in this space together right now? The higher sounds are the more angelic sounds, but just tap into even the guttural sounds. What needs to come out? What needs to be expressed? Exhale. Stay empty for a moment. Stay empty for a moment. Stay empty. Connect with the outerness. Stay empty. And now breathe in. Start to bring some of the sensation back up into the face, into the first eye, that space right between the brow. You know everything that you need to know. You only need to remember that you know it. The only way to do that is to release all of the blockage that's around the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, the body armor, the armor around the heart, the body armor around the sexual organs, around the asshole, around all of those places that you thought were once unsafe to share with yourself or with others. Releasing, releasing, releasing. See all of the body armor starting to release. Can you release that? Give yourself full permission. Let it go. Let it go. You don't have to know what's going to happen next. You don't have to know what's going to happen next. It doesn't matter. That's just the mind. That's just the ego wanting to know. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Keep breathing though. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. See the armor starting to release all around your first eye. Releasing it, releasing it, releasing it, that you have more clarity in this lifetime, that you have more clarity of your path, that you bring forth the truth of your purpose. You remember why you showed up, why you said yes to being a human right now, this lifetime. Breathe. Bring the awareness even further up, bring it all the way up, crossing over the frontal lobe, all the way up, 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 up into the crown of the head. You are more than human. You are more than perhaps what you've been allowing yourself to be and to show up as. Take breath. Take breath into your body. Take it all the way up through the channels, the chakras, all the parts of your body, through the nipples, all the way up into the throat, up into the face, into the mouth. You can feel your sweetness all the way up into the crown. Connecting, connecting, connecting. Bring that energy out through the crown, out through the crown. Circulate it all the way back so that you can imagine it coming out through the crown, expanding, expanding like this golden luminous light, and then connect it, direct it all the way back to the anal sphincter, starting to actually enter into that space, enter into the space, moving all the way up, 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 going through all of the chakras. Just take it nice and slow. Just continue breathing the body and just keep circulating it through. Everybody's breath pace is going to be a little bit different. It's okay. Just navigate the breath. Navigate the breath. Keep that circulation going all the way up. Luminous body. Luminous body. Now I want to invite some more movement. You can bring your hands onto your knees if you're not there already, and then just start to move the body a little bit more. Pressing heart forward. Good. Opening up into your sacred sexuality. Really breathing, receiving the cosmic cock of life. Really receiving, exhaling, allowing yourself to be penetrated with more love and more light. More love, more light, more expansion in this lifetime. Keep feeling it. Feel it. Breathe it. Breathe it. Breathe a little bit more. Now making some sounds. Take a deep inhale, breath. Inhale through the nose. Press the heart forward. Exhale audibly as you round. Ha. Make sound. Ha. Inhale. Exhale. Ha. Inhale. Press the heart forward. You're doing a great job. Just feel. I know some of you are out in a public place, and it's okay. It's okay. Give yourself permission. What if others do hear you breathing this way? What if it secretly gives them permission to start living more expansively? So that we don't have to hide who we are anymore. That we can actually show ourselves as we truly are and not be afraid or ashamed to hide who we are. Keep breathing and feeling. Breathe and feel it. Feel that you've always wanted to make love to the universe and that the universe has always wanted to make love to you. That the more open that you are, the more connection that you have to your sexuality, to your humanness, to your spirit, to your priestess, to your king and your queen, that you are able to tap into the divinity of this lifetime. You can say, fuck yes to this life. You can say a big hell yes to showing up as who you are every single day without apology. Take a deep breath into your body and feel it. Feel it, feel it. Now sit up as tall as you can. I want you to just shake a little bit, shake a little bit, shake, 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 shake. Shake your body, shake your body, shake your body. Shake your body, good, good, good. Move your arms, just shake. I want you to just shake. I want you to shake. I want you to shake. I want you to shake your breast. I want you to shake. I want you to feel. If you have physical breath, that you can feel the breast, that you can feel the activation of the nipples. If you have just an energetic breast, that you can feel also the connection to the Great Mother. Shake, shake your body, shake your body, shake your body, energize your body, energize the cells of your body. Wake them up, wake them up, wake them up, wake them up. Oh, wake them up. Shake a little bit more. Don't stop. Shake a little bit more. Shake a little bit more. Breathe. Breathe. This is how we're penetrated by life. This is how we can receive the cosmic cock. This is how we can be penetrated so that we can live more fully and give birth to ourselves fully in this lifetime. Take a deep breath. Breathe. You slow it down a little bit. I want you to slow it down a little bit. Good. Place your hand on your body or whatever part of you. Do whatever feels intuitive right now. Trust your body. What feels good? What feels good? What does your body want right now? What does your body want? Feel. I want to invite some more tender touch. I want to invite some more sacred touch. Maybe even starting to massage the breast a little bit, the chest, to massage and to touch the arms, the shoulders. To just touch your body. What wants to be touched? What wants to be touched? What part of you has been resisting this? That we all want to be loved, that we all want to be touched, that we all long for deep connection that's way beyond what society says is appropriate. And it is not the taking kind of touch. It is the loving, nurturing touch that brings us back to our wholeness. It restores us back to our ease. It restores us to our natural eroticism. Breathe. Feel. Bring your hand to your face. Bring your hand to your face. This face, maybe caressing, taking both hands, allowing your hands to hold your face, your jaw, your cheeks. That you can arouse yourself with touch and with love. And that this arousal can bring you back to more connection. It brings you back to all creation. Let your hands just run up towards your forehead, towards your hairline. What's that feel like? Maybe slowing your touch down a little bit. You don't have to be embarrassed or worry about what anybody else thinks if they see you touching. Remember that you're giving yourself permission, and in so many ways, because we are the other, that we are also giving them this permission to love themselves in a way that maybe they've never been taught before. Maybe your hands just touch up towards your head, your hair. What does your hair feel like in your hands right now? What do you feel like touching? Skin touching skin, soft fingertips caressing. Perhaps your hands just come back down towards your shoulders, your collarbones. You're doing so good. Just keep breathing, breathing it. You're doing it just right. Letting hands come back down, maybe to your breast again. I want you to just really feel the breast. Feel the breast, feel your chest, feel your nipples. Feel. Trusting the naturalness of touch. The way that we must suckle so that we can give life, we connect with life. If you are a woman in a woman's body and a female body, you have two arc lines, nipple to nipple, ear to ear. These two arc lines, connecting with yourself, remembering your magic of who you are. And then let the hands just come back down to the belly, come down to the belly. Touching your belly. How many times have we not loved our belly? How many times have we judged our belly? We didn't think it was flat enough. Maybe this belly brought forth life. Maybe this belly did not. It doesn't matter. How do we love our belly just as it is? This belly that creates, that holds, that covers and protects this gorgeous luminous light that's inside of us. How do we love this belly? And then bringing your hands down towards your hips. Oh, these hips that hold what the heart cannot hold, because the heart can only take so much heartbreak. And so we stuff and we push down what we can't hold in the heart. We push what we can't hold in the heart down to the hips, and the hips and the hips and the hips. They carry so much of the burden. They carry so much of the burden. Can you love these hips? Start to just make a small fist and just gently touch those hips. Pound on those hips a little bit, releasing the sides of the hips. Hold so much. We want to walk around in this life. We want to keep our head up. We're trying to just make it through the day sometimes. We don't have to just make it anymore. We can thrive. We come back home to ourselves. We love ourselves. It's so beautiful. And maybe the hands, they start to reach back to the lower part of the back, still gently pressing, and then maybe bring those hands down a little bit more to the legs, to these legs. And then releasing the fists and just touching, bringing the hands back down towards right beneath the navel, touching where the reproductive organs are, the sex organs. And nobody's watching you. Nobody can see where your hands are going. So just allow your hands to touch down at your genitals. Maybe one hand is still on your heart, the other's on the genitals. I want you to feel what feels true for you. Explore yourself right now. Be vulnerable. It's okay to give yourself this permission to be so vulnerable. That we all long to be vulnerable together. That we're not lonely, we're not set apart because there's something wrong or strange. That we are so beautiful and magnificent. That we're waiting for others, just like us, just luminous. Breathe. Taking a breath, maybe taking it so that your hand can touch both either your yoni or your cock, and then placing your hands also so that you can place maybe just your index finger, your middle finger right where your anal sphincter is, just applying a little bit of pressure so that you can feel that connection. You can either take it from the front or from the back, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Remember that nobody is watching where your hands are going, and yet you are being witnessed, and there is something so special about allowing yourself to be witnessed in deep vulnerability. This precious, precious union and connection. Just feel for a moment. Feel. Feeling that you never want to abandon yourself again. Feeling how much you truly love yourself, that you said yes to showing up in this form. To showing up in this space, that we might all help to remember, to remind each other, and to ignite the light within one of us, within each of us, within all of us. Take a deep breath. Deep breath. Slowly, you can start to remove your hand. You can always come back to this experience over and over again. Your precious body is so sacred. I love your body. I love your soul. I love who you are, you precious, beautiful beings. I'd like you to, in this vulnerable state, in this very soft, open state, for you to grab your mirror now. For you to grab your mirror. I know how vulnerable this can be. So seeing your mirror, I'd like you to just place it in front of you, and I'm going to do the same. And I'd like you just to see yourself. I want you to just take yourself in. For some of you, that may be a little difficult to do. I realize that. Be soft, be compassionate and loving. If you can see my eyes and you can see how much I love you, I don't have to have ever met you to love you or to hold you with softness. Perhaps you can borrow my lens for now because I am also you. So see yourself with the most love and compassion and nurturing eyes. And as you take yourself in, loving yourself, I want you to feel into what your heart desires for you. Not what your mind or what society. What does your heart desire for this precious being being reflected back in the mirror? Take some time to do that now. Keep breathing as you're looking in the mirror. Your sound, your breath, and your movement is so important. Be with what you feel. Every time you notice yourself checking out, go right back in. Keep your eyes open on yourself. Try not to close your eyes. Even if you cry, it's okay. Allow the tears, but don't look away from yourself. Take yourself in. Borrow my eyes if you cannot see yourself with love and compassion just yet. See how much I love you. Feel how much I love you. Feel it. Feel how much those who love you in your life can see you and hold you and love you. Don't look away. Don't look away. Take it in. I'd like you to now start to speak some affirming words to yourself. Say them out loud. Speaking to yourself. How much you love yourself. Whatever promises that you need to make to yourself. That you start speaking them out loud to yourself so that you hear yourself speaking them back. What do you need to hear? Speak it to yourself now. Speak the words that your soul, your heart needs to hear. Speak. Starting again to just breathe. Take a moment now. I want you to just reach for your journal. I want you to reach for your journal. You can keep your mirror in front of you. It might be beautiful just to have your mirror right there in your journal so you can look to yourself. And then I'd like you to write some vows to yourself. That you are marrying the masculine and the feminine sides of you. What do you need to promise? What promises do you need to make to this sacred self? So that you bridge those gaps between the love that you have for yourself and the love that the universe has for you. What are the vows that you need to make? Taking the time. staying at presence, staying connected. Just starting to wrap that up, wrapping up your sentence, knowing that you can always come back to it. Take a deep breath. Exhale it all out. Shake it out a little bit, shake it out a little bit. Yeah, feel good. Move your body. Yeah. This body is so magnificent, can feel so good. Oh, sometimes it just needs to shake a little bit. Yeah. You silly move. Yeah. My kids always tell me, you're so silly, you make so many sounds, you're so loud, you move so much. And I'm like, yep, sure do. Love it. So taking some breaths. Yeah. I want to go ahead and I'd love you to wave your hand like this. I want to hear some shares. Yay. Let's hear, what was your experience like? What was that experience like for you?
That was really incredible. As we moved through the chakras, I really felt it shining like a light, bright aura, and really felt that energy flow all the way from my root straight up through my crown. I felt myself get a little emotional there as I promised to cherish the vessel that carries me through this earth. That is my body, and it is worthy of love and is sexy. And I chose to do this in my living room to be vulnerable as people are walking. My roommates are walking around, and I felt myself just kind of let that light shine through me and block them out. And thank you. Very important stuff right now. Yeah.
Thank you for that vulnerability. Thank you for sharing and expressing that. Oh.
Thank you for creating this space for me to do that.
Who else? I saw Katie, you want to share, so I'm going to unmute you here. All right.
Okay, I don't think I can say it as eloquently as Ronnie, but I had a similar experience with becoming emotional, especially when you got down to the hips, and when the heart can't carry anymore, and that really, that got out of me. I started to sketch and draw a little bit during this quarantine time. I've never found myself to be artistic, but I've been trying to sketch every morning. And it's funny because when you told us to grab a journal, I just kind of grabbed my sketchbook quickly. And the page that I opened it to do my little journaling and I just thought that it was so appropriate. And then of course I have my feedback from my commitments to myself now below that. So anyways, just all of it kind of aligning and syncing.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that, your drawing, your sketch, also beautiful feminine body. Love that. Who else wants to share? I saw down here in the corner here. Good. Yes.
Yeah. So that was super, super powerful. Thank you so much. First of all, I'm actually living with my grandparents right now. And so my grandpa was like right behind me. So that was like extremely vulnerable. And there's, I think, yeah, it's just like I felt the armor like leaving my body and like the hips and I mean, just all the chakras like lights up. Like that was really incredible, super powerful. And it's so important, like just to, I think like just to show different generations that like, yeah, like there's so much shame and guilt around sexuality, but it's like, it doesn't need to be like that. Like it's such a sacred thing and we should all like tap into that and really just like, yeah, live that.
Yeah. We are always able to share with others, teaching others, you know, who knows what your grandparents are going to be able to get from that. Just observing.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. And I think it's interesting just moving in here has been interesting. Like it was supposed to just be pretty short term, but with the quarantine, I'm like, there's a reason that I'm here though. And I think part of like the awakening is like going back to your roots and really like healing ancestral traumas that we've carried. And so I know there's no coincidences. So
no, it's all synchronous. That's beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Who else? Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
That was really emotional for me. I'm still tearing up. I'm sorry.
No sorries. Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate you a lot for today. I needed this. I'm sorry, I can't talk.
It's okay. It's okay. We're here with you. We see you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And just feeling into that, you know, it's beautiful how each of us represents another part of us. We are all one. We are all each other. The parts of us that are still not able to cry or weep or grieve or mourn or celebrate ourselves, how beautiful is it that we can look around and we can see that expression of us being able to be had through another human being. It's beautiful, so gorgeous to witness. Who else would like to share before we move to the next piece?
That was really, really beautiful. And when you had us talk to ourselves, I had my phone next to me, so I was able to record what I was saying. And I'll be able to play that back later. My body has changed a lot in the last year and a bit. Yeah. And some things about it I like, and some things I don't.
Yeah.
And there's only so much you have control over. And so just to connect with it and to give it that love that, that I've withheld basically my whole life, and judged.
Yes.
This would be a beautiful practice to make a regular thing. So I thank you.
Thank you for expressing truthfully. There are still some times where there's parts of us that we are not loving, that we can't hold, that are changing and we don't understand. Maybe sometimes if we're moving through age or weight release or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's like just what is changing. How do we learn how to fall in love with this? That the beauty is not the way that it was because it's in some stuck format, but it's constantly shifting, and that is the beauty of it, this constant shifting. Sometimes the horror and the disasters of all that we experience also create that beauty. And if we don't remind ourselves of that, if we can't look out to nature to see the catastrophe and the disaster that happens and then the beauty that emits from that, then we forget this really vital piece of learning how to truly love ourselves and embody every part of ourselves throughout all of the shifts and the changes that we experience. So beautiful. So I have one last piece. Yeah, we have another share. I love this. This is so good. Thank you. Yes, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Of course. Well, first off, I just want to say thank you so much. That was a beautiful experience just to feel so held and supported and seen as well. And my favorite part of it was just how present I was able to get with myself. I feel, you know, throughout the days they're busy and you're doing things and, you know, but here I was able to just really show up fully and just like feel all the aspects of myself and literally feel all the aspects of myself and like see myself and be like, hey, look at you, look at, you know, just really arrive. So that felt so good for me, just to be present in my body, in my energetic body, and really, and witness it too. So I'm so grateful. I feel like a lot of times there's just so much going on and so much I'm always doing. So it just feels good to arrive and just be with myself.
Oh, thank you for expressing that. Yeah, I'm so glad that you could just show up. This is precious stuff, you guys. This is precious work that we do. And it's needed for our whole planet, for all of us. So I'm going to do something here, and you might have noticed that we didn't do introductions, and I didn't do any formal introduction at the beginning, and I did that intentionally because it doesn't matter. These formal introductions and these names and all of these things, we can get so caught up in that, in this identity of who I am or who, and it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't. What matters is, can we be present and can we be real with each other and just show up and be vulnerable? I desire that so much. I want to show myself. I want to be myself. I don't want to be what somebody else thinks that I am or some projection. I want to shift and change and morph and be all the different ways that I am from moment to moment, from breath to breath, from masculine to feminine to masculine to animal to plant to whatever it is. That we can be fully who we are. And yet, the ego is also there to serve us and to support us so that we can be in this human experience. Because we did say yes to this human experience. And so we cannot bypass this body and say no or deny the ego. It's a matter of making sure that we put the ego in check and we say, let me tell you something, okay, honey? I choose. Soul chooses. I'm the one in control. Not the conditions, not the labels, not any of that stuff. So right now, I am going to give you this opportunity. I want to invite you to introduce yourself, and I'd like you to pull something from your vows that you wrote for yourself, and you can circle maybe one or two things or something, but here's what I'm going to ask you to do. When you say your name, I want you to own your name in your full sovereignty. And I want you to be able to speak from this empowered place where your asshole's relaxed and your pussy is fully engaged and juicy, or your energetic cock or your cock or whatever genitalia that is really alive and vibrant in you. I want that to be like, fuck yeah, I am here. I am so on fire. Your belly, your breast, your body, that you are like, oh, I am here. Yes. This is who I am, and this is my vow to myself. That you bring your masculine and your feminine. That the river needs the river banks still. Yes. That you can flow, and that you also need that container, that conduit that's going to hold you so strong and steady so you can be in this lifetime and show up exactly who the fuck you're supposed to be, not somebody else. Now I'm going to soften again, but it's important to be able to really express that, because we need to do that. Sometimes we are too soft, and sometimes we can be too flowy, and it can be to our detriment. And so weaving in our sexuality is this ebb and flow and in this play. And sometimes we need to hear that we need to be more direct. We need to pull it all together so that we can shine vibrantly. So breathe your body, feel who you are. And then I'd like you to unmute yourself. I want you to take a breath and then speak your truth. You'll give your name, whatever name it is that you want to go by. It could be the name that you have been given, or it could be some other name, but I want you to just share that. And then a vow. And we want to witness you in that. And we want to hold you in that.
I'm committing to believing in my beauty.
I commit to believing that I am worthy.
Okay. That's a big one, huh? That's a recurring theme. I wrote, I am Ronnie, and I wrote, I promise to hold you, myself, with compassion and worthiness always.
I will keep going. I will surrender. I will allow myself to open. I will allow the love in.
I vow to be soft yet firm, the stars and the moon yet still stay grounded.
I will nourish my nervous system and tend to my entire being.
I vow to love myself no matter what. No matter how messy or how many times I get off track or how imperfect that I might think that I am, because I forget that I am not being measured against society or any other limitations. I will remind myself day in, day out that I am a magical being, a creature of the dark, a goddess of the divine. I am love.
I'm so glad that you tuned into this. What's moving through your body right now? What vows have you made to yourself based on this sacred sweetness practice? Take some time, reflect on your journal, go back, maybe even listen to this podcast again. Feel what's moving through you and try not to bypass it. I love you. I am so grateful for you. And thank you for tuning in to the Liberate Your Orgasm podcast.